there are many different things that you may have experienced that are still in the category of unforgivable, meaning that there is a refusal, in a way, unconsciously, to disidentify with the reality of the thoughts that come with it. Sometimes the word itself has some of the clues in it. So the word is forgive. And the part of this word that is helpful to pay attention to is the word give. Now, what are you giving? The question there becomes, well, what am I holding on to? Have you noticed that when there is a sense of not forgiving a situation, that you are holding on to something? Okay, what am I holding on to have to forgive this thing? That is the best question at this point. What am I holding on to? And the simple answer there is a thought. And what are the thoughts that you're going to be looking for when it comes to forgiveness? You're going to be looking for thoughts that have the flavor of what should or shouldn't have happened. Some kind of belief, some kind of expectation will be there in the form of a thought. Once you have discovered that thought, you're going to take that through inquiry, take it through your shadow process, take it through your trigger inquiry. And there are things in life that you may have said out loud that if this happened, I wouldn't be able to forgive myself, or that situation is unforgivable. That's an unforgivable event or circumstance or occurrence. Does life stop the unforgivable from happening? If life doesn't stop the unforgivable from happening, who am I to hold it? Am I beyond life? Am I beyond reality? So, for example, two mountaineer climbers make their way up the top of some mountain peak and then going down the mountain, one of them breaks their leg. The choice has to be made at this point for both of them to stay up the mountain and both of them die, or one of them to go down the mountain and leave the other behind to die and they live. And the one that's on the mountain that is not injured is wondering, will I be able to live with myself if I live and they die? And I know that they died in agony and of dehydration and of hypothermia or whatever the things are. Will I be able to live with myself? Or am I better off staying here and dying as well? Now, let's say at this point, the survival instinct, which is extremely strong, kicks in and they just find themselves walking down the mountain without the person they went up there with. And they're okay with it at that point. But then after the horror movie starts, doesn't it? After they get off the mountain, a week later, a month later, in come the thoughts about that situation. Now, the situation itself naturally has immense amount of grief in it. Grief is going to take place with that kind of loss and the situation itself. And there's a whole natural process there of grieving that. The suffering that continues from a situation like that is the thoughts of doubt of what should or shouldn't have happened. And these thoughts are not clearly witnessed. These thoughts are held onto tightly into an identified state.